Hello, my gloomy gusses. Thank you for clicking on my video. Tonight's topic is one that will hopefully ease the anxiety inherent to summer travel. Whether you're headed for the hills to destroy an all-consuming cursed ring that was handed down to you by your favorite eccentric uncle on their 11st birthday, or if you're simply running from consequences, deserved or unintentional. Perhaps you're simply trying to find a clever and faraway hidey hole to stash inconvenient or unpleasant byproducts of those rash decisions. Irregardless of why you've chosen to leave the cold familiarity of your native shadows for the brash and unpredictable world just beyond your crypt, this useful guide, compiled by my faithful acolytes and I, should help you to get wherever it is that you're going, and hopefully, with a little luck, get you back to your home soil forthwith. So please, why don't you just sit back, have your scribe jot down some notes, and let us begin. The Goths Guide to Summer Travel, or, if you prefer, Aphearia's Adventure Tips. I actually am partial to the second one, but it's your choice, darling. You choose. Either way. Tip 1. You're gonna want some really nice sunglasses. Assuming you will move in the moonlight as much as possible, you're probably wondering why this tops my list. Well, one would be wise to remember that the dawn star dominates the aether for a frankly vulgar swath of time in the warm months. The truth is, friends, you just never know when circumstances may demand that you brave the horrid sunlight. When the hellhounds are on your trail and time is of the essence, you'll be glad you have chic shades in hand. Plus, it keeps cumbersome goofs from gazing into your pretty peepers and falling madly in love with you everywhere you go. So tedious. Once you've found the perfect pair of eye armor, it's time to pack for your journey. And the most important aspect of packing is picking the luggage that's best for you. Sturdy, stylish, and striking, you just can't go wrong with these tried and true classics. Behold, a shiny black latex medicine bag for your ointments, elixirs, oils, tonics, and tinctures. When this one rolls down the baggage conveyor belt, you can rest assured that despite the musical jingle-jangle of glass bottles against vials, all of your alchemy is safe and sound. All thanks to this timeless accessory. Just like the little black dress, you just can't go wrong with the little black bag. Let's talk about this little casket case. It's gonna assure privacy from all but the most incurable of looky-loos. And no one will ever mistake this case for their own. Its fine, old-world construction ensures that it will be with you no matter how long the haul. Here's a little pro tip from me to you. I often carry a treasure sack, a cartoonish prop, to draw out would-be thieves, sate the greed of inevitable highwaymen, and of course, bribe ill-educated doormen, ply those secretive barkeeps, and give the illusion of opulence and importance. Inside, just fool's gold and glass gems. Oh, Aphearia, you say, what's that gruesome accoutrement purpose? Well, that's my lantern, you silly goose. Some folks use turnips, and the latest trend has been pumpkins. But really, you can use any old thing, as long as it is hollow, has holes to let the light out, and you can pop a candle in there. I just had this old thing lying around, and it was far less fuss than prepping a gourd, so I went with it. You need a lantern if you're traversing the crossroads, graveyards, or the moors at midnight. Sure, you could carry a flashlight, but this is Aphearia's adventure guide, not your daddy's good advice for safe journeys or whatever. Now that that's settled, let's talk about what to pack in this glamorous gear, this beautiful baggage. Well, to begin with, one must guard one's health. After all, the road is fraught with danger. That's why I make sure to bring a healing potion with me for any extended journey. From indigestion to amputation, a quality healing potion has you covered. I usually add just a pinch of cinnamon. It drowns out the slug taste. Now, I see you peeking at that sexy tech beside my healing potion. You're probably wondering what such a complex contraption even does. Well, that's my EVP recorder. And no, EVP does not stand for exotic vampire paraphernalia. It stands for electronic voice phenomenon. You see, this device records spirit communication that our measly mortal ears cannot perceive. That's why you sometimes might see me at the laundromat, addressing the air around me with such conviction. I'm interrogating the evil spirits that I suspect are stealing my socks for their minimalist but profound puppet theater. I'm trying to hear their feeble denials. Believe it or not, you too can join the conversation through the veil of death, anywhere, anytime. To convert any old-fashioned tape recorder into an electronic voice phenomenon device, one must write the letters EVP on the most visible portion, preferably with a Sharpie, or if you fancy yourself an artiste, paint. Don't ever leave home without your EVP recorder. I notice that your eyes have wandered over to the next one. Well, this is standard fare for any experienced traveler, but sometimes it's good, I suppose, to be reminded of the importance of the fundamentals. Get yourself a quality disguise kit. Don't settle for cheapo brands either. Last thing you want is to be tromping through Morocco with an itchy wig. Trust me, bro. I hear you shout kazoo, because everyone absolutely loves kazoos. That's why I never undertake a voyage without one of these delights in hand. Nothing transforms strangers to pals faster than the majestic melodies of a well-played kazoo. Take 2 or 3 just in case. They may get tossed into the sea or accidentally stomped on by overzealous fans. Last on my list is extra socks. Because of the aforementioned evil spirits, they may need a lead for sock puppet Hamlet, but that don't help me none when I'm trudging through tundra sockless. Extra socks, lots of them. Follow my tips and bring these essentials, and no matter where you're headed, you're already halfway to fun. Here's Frank with the sagely wisdom only afforded to the very elderly. Take it away, Frank.
Hoopla! If you're like me, you don't like defying gravity like some steel-clad Icarus, and prefer to ride the highways and roads in the comfort of a well-maintained motor car. emphasis on well maintained. After you've tightened the chicken leg and revved up the rat, it's time to finish up the pit stop with these 2 auto maintenance essentials. First, you're going to want to scour the frame and undercarriage for tracking transmitters. Nothing is worse than being followed to your secret fishing hole by some Einstein with a tracer. A fun way to discourage this sort of annoyance is to attach the doodad to a gaggle of errant helium balloons. Let them chase the wind to the hinterlands. Ha! Once you're quite sure you don't have a tail, it is paramount that you make certain your trusty roadster is not an evil robot incognito. This happens more often than is reported, so make sure that it doesn't happen to you. My method of detection is to provoke the hidden horror with tough-talking, fighting words. Robots are just dumb machines. I could mop up the floor with any robot, because flesh and bone beats bolts and gears any day of the week. Evil robots are quick to anger and will foolishly reveal themselves if riled up. Just be sure you've got a big rich handy when they do square up on you. Once you do these simple tasks, you'll be ready to hit the road, Jack. Now here's Melanie with some final thoughts.
What's up, everybody? Before I move on with this, let me do the dirty work that Frank and Aphearia just don't want to do. That, of course, would be to ask you to like and subscribe if you're so inclined, and to encourage you to share this weird little channel with anyone who you think might like it. It only takes a second, and boy howdy does it ever help us out. Thanks to everyone who has already done so. Y'all are the bee's knees. Now that that's out of the way, let me just say, before you set out to explore the planet, it's a really good idea to score a map from a gas station, or, if it's more handy, have a wizard bequeath one to you at the nearby tavern. And guys, just so you know, that last part about the wizard, that ain't me. Aphearia wrote that bit and was really adamant that I include it. Either way, what really matters is that you have an up-to-date map, so you can chart the fastest and safest route. That's just good sense. Next, I would tell you to brush up on the history of your destination so that you have a grounded understanding of the traditions and customs of the people you will be visiting. You could maybe flip through an atlas or something before setting out so that you are familiar with the weather patterns, geographic proclivities, and the neighboring lands that you could flee to for sanctuary should war or plague break out. Ah, heck, you probably know that last part ain't me either. That was Frank's idea. Atlas smatless, am I right? Finally, and this is from me, get out there and see what's going on. Eat those weird foods, learn some different dances, climb those distant mountains, and do not be afraid. The world is waiting for you to discover all its wonders. What are you waiting for? Click like and then go play.